Dude, I gotta be real honest with you though. When the weather started saying there's a hurricane coming, I got really excited. I know it's dumb, but listen to me. The reason I got excited was I'm from Arkansas and I've never been through a hurricane. Like we just have tornadoes where you're sitting in your house 1 minute and the next minute, like your house is gone and you're standing out in your underwear and most of your house is on a Waffle House parking lot, like across the interstate. And we got in the boat and we just went driving down the road, like down the street that I normally drive my automobile truck on. We were just cruising down the street like it was that gum river. And we just kept going, and there's other boats, a lot of boats out in our neighborhood. All the boat driver guys, they were just waving at the other boat guys like it was a fishing tournament. Some girl was walking down this direction just like she just had a plate of cookies. This is the sweetest. Maybe she was an angel. We don't even know if she was real. But them cookies was. And I remember walking in the first time I got back to the house, and I was there by myself, and I just looked around our house, and it was ruined. Like all of the floors that I had just put down had all floated up and were just in piles and everywhere. All our walls were falling apart. And over the weeks and months, I went from being really excited about finally getting to be in a hurricane to becoming very clinically depressed. I wonder if when you lay in bed at night, those are the things that you're thinking. You're just wondering, is there anything really wrong with me? Like, I just don't feel normal. Maybe it's depression, maybe it's anxiety where you're anxious, you get nervous, you get worried, you get fearful. But you know you don't want it there. You know you don't want it to be a part of your life, but it just seems like it's just gonna be there. Now just imagine, okay, this is fixing to get weird, but just imagine if the doctor went in and he took a keyboard in and he took the keyboard and he went in and he did a little procedure where he took this keyboard and he just plugged it into the brain of these little babies. Gross, that's so gross. But just imagine. Just plugs it right in. Doc just makes a little slot right there, like a bloop, and just plugs it in. And then watch this. Then just starts like programming, just like writing code and putting stuff in the baby's brain. And for the rest of this little baby grows up, and for the rest of its life, you know what's going on is somebody's putting programs in this little baby's brain. Because that's what's actually happening without the keyboard being plugged up to your head. But from the time you were born, everything that you have seen and heard and felt and smelled has been putting programs into your brain. And so I'm just carrying this thing around with me everywhere. And every bad thing that happens, I type it in, it goes in my brain, and it goes and finds all the other things that have gone wrong with me. And they all high five, and they hug it out, and they're so excited because they all love to hang out and talk all day long about me being a loser, about me being a failure, about how I'm probably never going to amount to much. And then Harvey hits. And after all the fun stuff happened when I was sitting in my living room by myself at 2 o'clock in the morning, I began to have the thought that, well, I guess I deserved this. Your brain is flexible and can rewire itself. And you don't have to be, for the rest of your life, Darren, you don't have to be caught up in the negative, thinking you're a loser, you're a failure, and you deserved your home to get destroyed. So how can you do this? This is some stuff I'm learning. You've got to protect your keyboard from other people. Here's what I mean by that. You have to be very careful who you're listening to, what you're watching, and whose opinion matters to you. You can start writing a whole new story for your life. And my story is going to be a beautiful story that brings hope to guys like you, to girls like you. A story that brings hope, that says you don't have to stay there. You don't have to be like that. You don't have to lay in bed every single night in fear and worry. You don't have to wake up and be stricken with panic because of all the junk that you know you're going to have to deal with that day. You can write a new story.